So, since last video I did a lot of testing, but the results disappointed me. If you haven't seen my previous video, I was basically doing Dancing Dervish build with Face Breakers and Dominating Blow. The results were not satisfying, so I wanted to do some more testing with some other ideas. So in this video I will talk about what I have tested and, well, basically what doesn't work, or works but needs a lot of investment. I will also talk about how you can do auto-animate weapons, and I'm not talking about castle channeling. But I'll start with Dancing Dervish. Sadly, but this skill is really not reliable. You can get decent damage on it, but against bosses you won't be able to sustain rampage, and that Worm Flask does not help. Even if you did it just for clear speed, you would still need some other skills to supplement your damage, especially against single target. There are many ways to do that. You can either use another minions, or use Dominating Blow with low damage but minion gems. But you will still need something to kill enemies to trigger rampage. So let's just forget about this weapon and move on. So, since I was not using Dancing Dervish anymore, I have replaced Face Breakers with Grip of the Council gloves. With these gloves, minions gain 20% of physical damage as extra cold damage. And then I tried using the Scourge Claw with Victorious Charity Shield. And since I have a pretty decent attack speed, I would constantly generate frenzy charges to my minions, increasing their damage, attack and movement speed. And this helped quite a bit, but my own damage was lower than with Face Breakers. But my minions did more damage. This, however, was still not enough. Dominated minions are very squishy, especially against something like Beyond bosses. By the way, just to be clear, the Scourge Claw is really viable, but not on this build. There are other builds doing with Scourge Claw and doing insane damage. You would probably want to take Necromancer to use Scourge Claw. So for this build, it just wasn't pleasant to use. Well, my own defenses aren't great. 5k armor, only a bit over 6k life, leash from Berserker, and really no other way to mitigate damage. If you look at normal melee builds, most of them have either wall pact and insane life leech or very high damage. So it's no surprise that this build is rather squishy. Then I decided to try and use Jorrhast Blacksteel mace. So this mace does not have very high damage, however, it has 25% chance to cast level 20 animate weapon on kill. And all the gems in this weapon are linked to that animate weapon. In addition, weapons you animate create additional copies, so basically you always animate 2 at a time. So as I was using Dominating Blow and killing enemies, I was also animating animate weapons. But there was a problem with that. You see, I must do the killing blow in order to trigger animate weapon. But my own damage is not enough, and I have plenty of dominated minions killing other enemies. As someone mentioned in my previous video, I focus on too many things and that's why my own damage is rather low. 10 strength gives 2% melee physical damage to me and my minions, and I thought I would have enough damage if I raised my strength to maybe 800, but I'm not sure. With 4 more passive skills I could easily get 80 strength, or maybe I should try and get some damage mods. Anyway, so I played like a half day with this weapon, using dominated blows and seeing how many animated weapons I would have, and well, it was disappointing, because I would only have 4 to 6 animate weapons, sometimes 10, but very rarely. And then someone told me an interesting thing. If your minions poison enemies and enemies die from poison, it counts as your kill. That means it can automatically summon animate weapons. The tricky part is to make enemies die from poison and not from direct damage. That means minions need to do more damage over time than initial hit. So using Aura like Hatred is bad, but you still need to buff your own damage to start the process. By the way, this is not the final version, I am still brainstorming, and I tried so many different approaches. I tried animating weapons myself and letting them kill, but they are separate. And for some strange reason, auto-animated weapons has a lot longer duration than manually animated weapons. By the way, dominated minions don't seem to trigger this effect, or maybe they just kill enemies before poison. So I have tried replacing Dominated Blow with Infernal Blow, and it was quite interesting. I would kill a couple packs of monsters and would get few animated weapons, which will then kill more enemies, with poison of course, and would animate more weapons. So it's just like a chain reaction. And the damage is quite nice, but as you know, poison makes everything better. There are a few problems with this. First, animate weapons die very easily. I would need completely different approach. I would need to focus more on minion nodes, minion life, minion resistances, and instead of Berserker, I would need to use maybe Necromancer. But Necromancer would have lower melee damage. Since I really don't want to make another Necromancer, I might try refund my Berserker into Chieftain, just to get more strength, which will boost my minion damage, Also more life, armor, some resistances, regeneration, but then again my own damage will be lower. So instead of doing damage myself, I want to try and use maybe zombies with poison or skeletons with poison to start the kill process and get some animate weapons and just let animate weapons do the rest. But I'm not sure if skeletons or zombies would trigger this effect. So after making this video I'll go refine my passive skill tree, mess around with my items and test more things. And if it is something worth showing, I'll make another video. And if not, well, I got another build in process. So that's it for now. I am sure I forgot to mention few things, but I didn't make a list of what I tested, so I can't really remember now. If you got some ideas or questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I usually reply within few minutes. So thanks for watching and see you soon.